I got that animal ambition. I got that animal ambition. I got that.
What's up, y'all? Smoak here. What's good? In this video, I'm gonna be watching 10 WWE wrestlers who suffered biggest WrestleMania downgrade by WrestleLamia. I know it gotta be sickening to a degree for a superstar or a performer to be at the top of the card one year and then a lower card to the next. And not just the card themselves, but also like in match quality. Like looking at the WrestleMania thumbnail on this video, you see The Miz main event to WrestleMania one year, and the next he was on a part of a, what was it, like a 5-on-5 or 6-on-6 or something tag team match for representing a general manager from both Raw and SmackDown. The Miz was on Team Johnny, which represented Raw. I don't remember if he got the victory that night for the team, but bottom line, it was like such a whiplash to go from like top dog to a match people really don't care about compared to the other cards in that night. Like stuff like that, it depends on who's on the card, what kind of matches they had, the drama leading into the match, etc. So it's just not everybody's going to have the opportunity. Well, back then at least, because today WrestleMania is night 1 and 2. Yeah, let's dive right into it.
Wrestling at a WrestleMania event should be one of the highlights of a wrestler's career. WrestleMania is the biggest event in all of pro wrestling, and numerous wrestlers have had the honor of gracing the grandest stage of them all. However, it's often the case that a wrestler has a prominent spot on a WrestleMania card, and by the time the next installment of WWE Signature Pay-Per-View comes around, they have fallen dramatically down the card. Join us now as WrestleMania looks at 10 WWE wrestlers who had the biggest WrestleMania downgrade. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new website, wrestlelamia.com.
Still need to check on that
Chris
website.
Jericho. Chris Jericho has wrestled some iconic names at WrestleMania. However, Jericho's downgrade from WrestleMania 28 to 29 was truly shocking. At WrestleMania 28, Jericho challenged CM Punk for the WWE title in one of the key matches on the show, yet at WrestleMania 29, Jericho would face off against Fandango. When Jericho heard about the booking plans for WrestleMania 29, he was furious, and when he found out that Vince McMahon wanted him to lose the match, the anger reached a boiling point. Jericho was so annoyed with his creative direction that he had almost quit the company. However, it was a chat with the legendary Undertaker which led to Jericho changing his mind and doing his job to the best of his ability. Thankfully for Jericho, the next time we would compete at WrestleMania would be in 2016 at WrestleMania 32, and this time Jericho was in a much better position as he would face off against AJ Styles in AJ's WrestleMania debut.
First of all, Undertaker, man, is a legend in the business. So to have somebody, to talk to like that status is such comforting. I don't know if AEW has a guy like that. If they don't, they should. And also, I always seen it as Chris Jericho having Fandango going over like in the veteran move. But after hearing that, I get it. Egos involved and stuff. What competition is it? This is not a real sport, but it's still got that competition feel to it in terms of how you're gonna look good, who you're gonna do it with, etc. It's just one of those cases, like Fandango being a new guy and having a debut match at WrestleMania. Chris was like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Because he was one of them dudes. He was a main event dude. It feels like he'll float between that to mid card status, like the high mid card status. It's weird to say.
WrestleMania 26 was a huge night for Sheamus. Sheamus would take on Triple H in one of the top matches on the show, and despite him coming up short in the match, his performance received positive reviews, and the match is considered rather underrated when it comes to WrestleMania matches.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that.
The following year, Sheamus would initially be booked to face Daniel Bryan for the US title, and it goes without saying that wrestling Bryan wasn't a step down, yet in 2011, Bryan had yet to emerge as WWE's top guys, and they were still hesitant to push Bryan into the main event scene. Sheamus' matches with Bryan would shockingly be moved to the dark match, and it even got worse when the match morphed into a battle royal, and the battle royal would be won by the Great Khali.
Damn.
The following year at WrestleMania 28, WWE would book a match between Sheamus and Bryan once again, and this time for the world title, and the match infamously ended in 18 seconds.
And them 18 seconds, man, It's logical when you think about it. I explained this in a different video. They had 3 matches that was long as hell. They had to cut one short, or significantly short, and that was it. Uh, it makes sense via storyline. They made it up the following months or two, but with the Extreme Rule match, which I didn't watch personally, but I heard it was a banger, so that's good.
Cold Steve Austin. Throughout the Attitude Era, Stone Cold Steve Austin was WWE's #1 guy. However, when they entered 2002, WWE began to push other talents and Austin was often butting heads with WWE creative. At WrestleMania 18, Austin was booked to face Scott Hall and Austin had zero interest in the match. Although Hall was a great wrestler, Austin was going from wrestling The Rock in the main event of WrestleMania 17 to a match at WrestleMania 18 that fans didn't have much investment in. On an episode of Grill and JR, Jim Ross, who remains one of Austin's closest friends, stated that Austin had every right to be
Just saying, Conrad is much bigger than I thought.
annoyed with the thrown together program at WrestleMania 18. 7. Drew McIntyre. When Drew McIntyre returned to WWE in 2017, he was instantly pushed up the card. McIntyre won the NXT title and before fans knew it, McIntyre was back on the main roster in a featured role. McIntyre had notable WrestleMania matches for a number of years, and these included matches with WWE's #1 guy Roman Reigns and 2 back-to-back WWE title matches. However, when WWE arrived at WrestleMania 38, McIntyre's planned match was to see him face Baron Corbin. When it was initially reported online that McIntyre vs Corbin was the planned match for WrestleMania 38, fans thought some kind of swerve was being planned, yet this was WWE's definitive direction. In a move nobody expected, McIntyre addressed the fan backlash to the match in an interview with Metro UK, and this is what the former champion had to say. I'm very excited about it personally. I've seen some of the comments when the match was made. The internet can be a harsh place. I appreciate all my fans around the world. Their reaction is, Drew's not wrestling for the title. He won the title from Brock 2 years along. He fought for the title last year. This year, he's fighting Corbin. I understand that and I appreciate that, but the way I see it is, aside from his obvious talent in the ring, anyone who says he's not talented in ring is lying to themselves. We actually have a genuine hated bad guy that everyone genuinely dislikes. If people online are saying that this guy is such a good bad guy, he really entertains me, that's not a good bad guy. A true bad guy is someone you literally despise and you want to see get their butt kicked. That's what we've got right now, and that's what I've got in my story with Corbin.
I like that answer. I don't know if he's capping or not, but yeah, I like that answer. It was like Austin Theory, like 2 years ago or something. Prior to Vince McMahon retirement. He was this young cocky dude taking selfies and stuff, with his stupid ass selfie stick. Won Money in the Bank, and he's just being showered with booze. Dolph Ziggler, I think it was, said something on the bump, talking about fans want to fans want to see new people when it presents itself, they just shit on it. And I'm just like, I don't know what's he babbling about. I mean, because he mentioned Austin Theory being a prime example, and I'm just like, as a fan, I'm like, that don't make any sense, because Austin Theory is a heel, right? So why should we not boo on him? That's the point of a heel. Not to cheer on him because he looked like a cool guy as a heel, like Roman Reigns, for example. What?
Kong Bundy. King Kong Bundy is mostly known to WWE fans for being in the main event of WrestleMania 2. Bundy collided with Hulk Hogan inside a steel cage, yet the following year, Bundy's stock had fallen so much that his WrestleMania 3 role was reduced to one of a comedic nature. At WrestleMania 3, Bundy was involved in a mixed 6-man tag match. He would team up with midget wrestlers Little Tokyo and Lord Littlebrook against Hillbilly Jim, the Haiti Kid, and Little Beaver. The infamous match would mark Bundy's last WrestleMania appearance until WrestleMania 11, where Bundy would be defeated by The Undertaker in Bundy's final ever time on the grandest stage of them all. Number 5. Ronda Rousey. Upon returning to WWE in 2022, Ronda Rousey was propelled into a primary spot in the company. Rousey would win the 2022 Women's Royal Rumble and go on to challenge Charlotte Flair for the women's title at WrestleMania 38. Although the build to the match was underwhelming, they still presented and marketed the match as one of the biggest matches on the show, yet the match was an indication that Rousey's second run in the company wasn't going to live up to expectations. The match was so flat and lifeless that this would be a trend that would continue throughout Rousey's second run. Rousey's feuds with Charlotte Flair, Liv Morgan and Shotzi were all negatively received, And by the time that WrestleMania 39 season came around, there was no desire from fans to see Rousey in a prominent role on the WrestleMania card.
Her pro wrestling moveset, man, is just not up to par, bro. It's annoying to see.
Rousey will be placed in the Women's WrestleMania Showcase Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match, teaming with Shayna Baszler, and although her team won, the match was considered a substantial yet justified step down compared to the year prior. Number 4. Lex Luger. WrestleMania 10 was truly Lex Luger's peak in WWE. Luger would face off against Yokozuna for the WWE title, and although he lost the match via DQ, a title match at WrestleMania isn't something to write off. Fast forward to WrestleMania 11, and WWE and Vince McMahon have completely lost faith in Luger ever being a top guy in the company, and this was made clear by Luger's match at the show. At WrestleMania 11, Luger was in the opening contest as he teamed with the British Bulldog against the Blue Brothers in a match that could easily have been moved to an episode of Raw, or even Superstars. The tag match would mark Luger's final ever WrestleMania appearance as he would depart WWE in August of 1995. Number 3. Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt had the honor of walking into WrestleMania 33 as WWE Champion. Wyatt would wrestle Randy Orton on the show, yet the following year all WWE could deliver with Wyatt was a cameo appearance on the pre-show. Wyatt would interfere in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal as he would assist Matt Hardy in winning the match. Whilst it was great to see the legendary Wyatt on the WrestleMania stage, was this truly the best booking move that WWE could have come up with? Going from a WWE title match to a pre-show cameo appearance wasn't a great look, and WWE could have easily delivered something more in line with Wyatt's star power.
Yeah, that's a definition
Number
of whack.
2, Booker T. WWE Hall of Famer Booker T has had a bizarre history at WrestleMania. Booker has been in a world title match, a pre-show match, and even wrestled a Boogeyman. WrestleMania 19 was arguably Booker's biggest match at WrestleMania, as he faced off against Triple H for the world title. And there's a common consensus amongst the fan base that this is a match that Booker should have won, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be. Booker remained popular and relevant following WrestleMania 19, yet at WrestleMania 20, Booker was defending the tag titles with Rob Van Dam in a fatal 4-way showdown. Booker and RVD would defend against the Dudley Boys, Cade and Jindrak, and La Resistance. Whilst not the most lackluster match in the world, the match was seen as a low point of WrestleMania 20, as the match outcome was seen as predictable by many. The following year, Booker would even fall further down the card as he wouldn't even make the main show. The multi-time world champion would win a forgettable pre-show battle royal by eliminating the masterpiece Chris Masters. And number 1, The Miz.
Ugh, man.
The main event of WrestleMania
I'll give him
27
credit for
received
putting him
vast
number 1.
criticism, as fans and WWE talent question if The Miz belonged in the main event position. Those who claim that Miz's main event run would be one-time deal were proven right the following year when Miz would be relegated to wrestling in the monotonous Team Teddy vs Team Johnny matchup at WrestleMania 28. At WrestleMania 29, 2 years after main eventing WrestleMania alongside John Cena, Miz wasn't even able to make the main show. Miz's Intercontinental title match with Wade Barrett would be moved to the pre-show, and despite his victory in the match, it was a clear sign that Miz was never going to main event the biggest show of the year ever again. But there you have it, folks. 10 WWE wrestlers.
I don't know about ever again. I mean, he's still performing well at this stage of his career. But I mean, this is what, year 15, year 16 for The Miz. I don't know if that his show is still running, the Miz and Mrs. I never watched it personally. I just don't care for reality TV. But I think it's popular. It is on network TV, so give him credit for that. The Miz is definitely somebody who should be given more opportunity in the main event scene. He shouldn't be involved in the world title, involved in the Money in the Bank. I don't know. I guess Vince don't like him, whatever, because you see him putting in work every week on TV, and most likely on live events. I don't know if he was talking to Vince prior to his removal of power, or if he's talking to Triple H, because when you want to get pushed, you have to build a relationship with the head of creative, right, to get the opportunity. That's just what it is. Like Randy Orton said in the interview with Kurt Angle, you just like knock on Vince's door and said, hey, how you doing? Yada yada, make small talk and then go about your business afterwards, Make yourself known, build a relationship with head creative, etc. You can't make some mistake by trying to skimming over your process of your idea, or we should be involved in the storyline like Maven did way back when that had been documented. Like he went to Vince's office and offered him and offer him a proposal of a storyline he had in mind. And this was in the middle of Vince eating, so you know, it was just bad. It was just a bad timing for him, I guess. And then as he was talking, he was saying like he literally said like blah 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 during his proposition. And as if the man like he looked at him and said, "Wait a minute, you come to my office, offer me an idea, and what you're saying and what you're telling me is blah blah blah." And then you know he just kicked them out afterwards, and things wasn't the same for Maven. From what I heard, I think it was by WrestleMania or Cultaholic Wrestling. I forgot who it was, but yeah, that wasn't a good look. Yeah, you just gotta be patient, gotta be smart, etc. If it don't come your way, it don't come your way. They just don't see you like that. And you gotta be pushed like heavily hard by the fans, like let's say Daniel Bryan. I would say Zack Ryder, but he was never in that main event scene. It was just weird how they shut him down. That was trash. I think that was just an old dude being an old dude, you know, being stubborn and I guess old school, because people was really loving Zack Ryder. I think it was made because of his YouTube channel way back when. But yeah, if Matt Cardona comes back to WWE, that'd be good for business. So what I heard from an interview, he don't want to come back as Zack Ryder. Just as Matt Cardona. And I'm just like, damn, I like that theme song back in the day. That was cool. Oh, radio. That was nice. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Peace. I'm out.